Lindsay Dentlinger joins us from our Cape Town studio. Good evening to you, Lindsay. So we know yesterday ATM and UDM were told no by the Speaker, but now there's a new plan. Talk us through this.
So, Sally, essentially the no from the Speaker was largely based on procedural issues, the way in which that request was put to Parliament. Today, the ATM is submitting a fresh request to the Speaker that complies with a formal motion to the House to consider starting a Section 89, that's in terms of the Constitution, an inquiry which essentially is an impeachment inquiry of the President. You will recall that some years ago Parliament was under pressure to design some rules that would guide such a process when there were calls for the removal of President Jacob Zuma. And so in line with those rules and what the Constitution allows for, the ATM have now made a fresh request to the Speaker saying that the prima facie evidence necessitated Parliament to investigate and to hold the President accountable, and so that is now the new request that's before the Speaker. We know the House does rise at the end of this week before it goes into the recess, but the African Transformation Movement says it won't be letting up the pressure, Sally, to demand that Parliament hold the President accountable. Here's the African Transformation Leaders President Vuyuzungula, who spoke to me earlier today about that new motion.
Due to the gravity of the allegations against the President, it is only befitting that Parliament must take action. And we note with disdain how the Speaker has defended an accused president, a president that is alleged to have committed various crimes. Therefore, in all the platforms, either committee meetings of the programming committee, the chief whip's meeting, every Parliament platform between now and whenever, we're going to keep on pushing that pressure so that Parliament does act.
Interesting, the official opposition, the Democratic Alliance, is warning this could become Ramaphosa's Nkandla if he doesn't actually talk soon. What line of pressure are they pursuing?
So we know, Sally, that the DA has already asked the South African Reserve Bank and also the South African Revenue Services to investigate these claims of foreign currency being stashed in furniture on the President's farm. DA leader John Steenhuisen confirming to me this afternoon that he has received a response from the Revenue Service, at least in terms of that it has received its letter. Of course, you know, tax matters are confidential, but John Steenhuisen says he's not asking for any tax information from the Revenue Service. He merely wanted to investigate, and then the DA has also put forward a barrage of questions, Sally, for which it is requesting a written reply to the President. You know that that is one of the channels parties can use to get answers from the executive, and there are a whole set of questions now sent to the Presidency about all matters related to this crime that the DA wants answers to. And then also, interestingly, Sally, it's also requesting Parliament's Police Committee to call the VIP Protection Services Unit to appear before it to explain why it used public resources and public time to investigate, or at least to cover up, or to follow through, or to whatever their involvement was, essentially a private matter of the President, when really they are paid to protect the President and not take care of private matters and private crime that happened on a private property. And so those are the avenues that the DA is pursuing. Here's the leader, John Steenhuisen.
Whoever's advising the President is advising him very poorly. He can make all of this go away very quickly by coming and taking the country into the confidence, telling us who gave him the money, why it wasn't reported, and most importantly, why he used his personal protection unit that's provided for by the state to go and do debt collecting essentially for his own private business interests. That is an abuse of power, and that is an angle that Parliament, I think, needs to pursue.
All right, so interesting summary of what the pressure that is coming from Parliament, from opposition politicians. Thank you very much, Lindsay Dentlinger in Cape Town.